We've sunk an enemy destroyer. Enemy destroyer blown up.
Hey guys, how's it going? And today I am bringing you a replay of me and my Kiev. And this was a really good game for me. I can't say it was really great for my teammates. And since in the beginning of this match all I do is really sit at long range and I shoot at some battleships and some cruisers, I wanted to get 2 points across that I'm kind of going to highlight during this video. One is about being salty, and the other one is what causes saltiness, especially since, well, it's basically the teams that I've been seeing lately. So getting into the first point of that is being salty when you get a ton of bad teams, you're on a loss streak, and you're just really fed up with losing. You'll see a lot of players get mad, and you'll see some of them sit in the back of the map, not do much. They'll just kind of let all their teammates go forward and die, and they'll go sit in a corner and complain. Or right at the beginning you can hear them just say, oh, if you guys don't all go this way, we're gonna lose. And it's understandable, you're on a loss streak and you're a little bit upset about that. Try not to reflect it too much on your teammates. Don't be one of those guys where your teammate slightly touches your ship and you empty a full broadside into theirs. I don't see the point in that. I kind of am a little bit annoyed that people still do that. But besides that, if you're gonna be salty, back it up with something. Show your team that you can lead, that you're able to contribute, and give them somebody to follow rather than just somebody who's complaining in chat and sitting at the back of the team. Especially battleships, if you're gonna complain, get up front and take some hits. If you're a destroyer, scout. If you're a cruiser, stay with those battleships and defend them. Give them some pointers if you need to, but don't sit there and just complain that they're not doing anything when they're trying their best. So just, you know, contribute. Don't sit in the back and whine. The second point I wanted to make was the bad teams I've been seeing lately. I don't know if it's... I just don't know. You see battleships going broadside to the whole enemy fleet. You see battleships sitting in the back not doing anything, and I'm going to highlight battleships because I am not playing them recently. But then you see destroyers that don't know their torp ranges. You see cruisers that just charge and die. I don't know, you just see a multitude of things, and it's amazing how people can just sail around the whole game and not contribute anything. And I'm not saying that everybody who gets less than 500 EXP in a match or base experience in a match is bad, because I remember my World of Tanks days, because I'm not good at that game. Please don't look at my stats. But I don't know, it just doesn't show contribution. And you're gonna see that in this match by the whole fucking southern side of this. And if I haven't mentioned, I'm going to be a bit salty about this match. I'm sorry in advance. Yeah, I can get salty too. But that whole southern side has like 7 ships. And none of them are going to get a kill. Spoiler alert. But I don't know. It's just, it's so weird lately that so many teams aren't doing anything. You really have to get a team where at least 5 people know what the hell they're doing and can push to victory. And it seems like whichever team becomes the most aggressive early in the match kind of comes out victorious. So I don't know if it's a playstyle that's shifting, or if it's just a lot of people able to fail their way up to higher tiers now. But besides that, those are kind of the points I wanted to get out there, that if you're going to be salty, back it up. And the other point was I have no fucking clue what's going on, so I don't know if that was a point in the first place. Maybe recommend them some YouTube videos and it'll help. But as you can see in the replay, it's starting to heat up a bit. We lost a destroyer in the middle, they lost a cruiser. I'm just kind of sitting back, I'm poking at these enemy ships that are sailing around, supporting my battleships in this Omaha, who's broadside. which is okay. He didn't get punished for it, but he's really lucky. But I'm supporting our battleships over here and pounding away at the enemy battleships. We have a cruiser pushing back through the middle, and south side is doing whatever the hell south side's doing, which is a lot of nothing. I don't know. At the beginning of this match, you would have seen that I pinged the base and said basically defend it. I was hoping somebody from the south would come up and actually aid us in that, because I know we were outclassed in battleships, but I wanted them to come up and actually just defend. If we could blockade and pick them off as they came to our base, we would have had a decent shot at victory here. And we still have a decent run at it, mostly because of what my Kiev can do. I think this is a beautiful destroyer, and I think it's the best cruiser at tier 7, despite not having any torpedoes. And there we go, we just lost another ship. We lost a cruiser, and it was a devastating strike. So how much do you want to bet that he was broadside? And we lost a destroyer to a detonation. Not really his fault at that point. So I'm just going to continue to pour shots into this poor Texas right here. Just keep setting them on fire. New Yorks are such a beautiful thing to set on fire, because they just set on fire so easily. I don't know what it is, but it's just really easy. And obviously one of our battleships is firing HE because they just set a fire too. Not a big issue, but you know what ammunition round you're shooting, because usually armor piercing works better. Especially on a broadside Texas. Especially on a line riding broadside Texas. And there we go, I just took my first hit from, I think it was the Cleveland. Might have been one of the battleships. Actually, I think it was the New York. But, yeah, not really a big deal. Kiev doesn't have a ton of health, but I can take a hit. Continue trying to pound away at the Texas. As you can see, we've lost 2 more ships in that span of time, both in the south. No, I think we lost our Omaha up top. That would be the dead cruiser that I am looking at. But as you can see, south, not doing too hot. We've lost a destroyer and a cruiser up north. They've lost 2 cruisers and a destroyer down south. So yeah, really, really good. And as you can see by the mini-map, they're really spread out down there, which is really good to know. Because that's not going to help them. And this Texas is almost done. Somebody just lit them on fire again. I'm pounding away. The Kiev's just like a mini fire that's always going to be hitting you. And I'm just kind of plinking away at him, trying to get rid of him. I don't want him on my screen anymore, and I don't want him threatening my battleships, because I'm probably going to need them at some point. Since Southside ain't doing too hot. We've killed 1 cruiser so far, and that was the destroyer in the middle. And there goes the Texas to one of my volleys. So I'm already up to 133 hits. I love the guns on this thing, they're awesome. And now I'll just start chewing on this other New York over here. Basically a slightly weaker version of the Texas, and he can have a fire also. As you can see, I'm kind of sitting still, but I'm kind of not right now. Since he's not focusing me, I'm not moving too much because I don't want to get out of my own range or have to maneuver too much because these guns are slow. But at the same time, I am moving enough that he's not going to directly target me just because I'm not moving. But looks like he did see me as an opportune target. Launched a salvo at me. Did a little bit of damage, but I'll take his life for it. Now we have to deal with this Cleveland, who I'd like to sink to try to save that New York. This New York did a really good job in my opinion. Actually, both these battleships that are with me did a great job at trying to defend the base. And as you can see, there's nobody down south anymore. They are gone. And you can see me start to be a little bit salty in chat. 7 players down south. Couldn't get 1 kill out of a whole enemy team. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in that, and I got a little bit salty over that. But I do back it up. I don't I don't go sit in a corner like I see some players do. I mean, that pisses everybody off. I mean, it even pisses the enemy team off half the time. But I continue shooting my guns. At this point, I'm just farming damage. I don't see a victory as being imminent. But now the Cleveland's down. We still have that New York, which is good. But I'm detected. And there's no ships up here. Huh. Oh, there it is. It's a Farragut behind us. So rather than get these battleships to turn around to help me, I'm going to go deal with that myself. Now that's a tier 6, but he almost has as much health as me. He's also got very, very fast fire rates on his guns, and he's a very good brawler. Also a lot better torps, because these are only 4 kilometers. So I'm going to have to deal with him from range and try to duck out of his shots. And the enemy team's starting to push up from the south, but I'm going to take care of this destroyer so that my battleships don't have to worry about it. And you can see his salvo starting to come in. He's doing a good amount of damage to me. He got some really good hits off early. And that's when I decide, well, I don't want to be brawling this guy. I'll give him one good salvo for the road, turn around, and make a break for it. And he did use his damage control on whatever the hell I took out the first time. So now he's on fire, which is really good for me, because that's just a little bit of extra damage that I have against him. And here comes another salvo. He's trying to turn in to try to dodge my salvos, but I aimed low. Got 2 hits, but they didn't damage him. I probably out-damaged that compartment of his ship already. There's another fire set on him. At this point, it's the AFK Minikaze that's actually detecting him. And he tries to put up smoke. I launch one more salvo at him, and there he goes. If I hadn't finished him off with guns, I think my fires would have. I'm not sure if he would have had a repair up or if he did. But he's dead, that's all I have to worry about. 200 hits and 3 kills so far. And now the enemy team's starting to roll up from the south. And this Omaha's going backwards. At this point, there's only 2 viable players on this team. There's me and that other battleship, because that Minikaze is AFK. So they're not helping at all, which is useless. But once again, can't quite hold it against them. It could have been something with the game, it could have been their computer, or it could have been something in life. We all have those times where we can't join the game right off, and sometimes we miss out due to it. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, since if he was a bot, he would have reacted when he got shot. But now I'm going to start focusing down the Boutonniere, because that's probably the biggest threat at this current moment, along with that Ashan. And Sean, I don't quite know. It's a destroyer. But that Boutonniere is probably the biggest threat with his really fast, rapid-firing guns, which are really accurate. And I probably want him deleted first. But I'm going to continue shooting at this destroyer since he's closest. And if he gets on cap without me seeing him, he'll just cap out before I'm able to farm up more damage. So I kind of want him gone. And the battleship gets a decent hit on against him right there. I got more shells coming in, doing a little bit of damage, and there goes my battleship. So, I'm all alone now. There's an Atlanta over there. There's this destroyer. I'm trying to lead for where this destroyer is going to stop and cap. There's 4 hits. That should do some decent damage. No clue what that Atlanta is doing. It looks like he's trying to back up. But it also looks like he's trying to stop and go undetected, which is an issue for him because I'm just dancing around slightly inside of his detection radius. And there's the Kamikaze R, their other destroyer. The Ashan, I don't know. It's still in the cap. It's shooting at me. That's really it right now. But I want this Atlanta gone because it's got a lot of guns on it that are really fast fire rate, and for some reason he's not doing anything. And he'll pay for that with his life. Thank you for the 4th kill, Mr. Atlanta.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Now I'd like to start taking out this kamikaze because he can detect me from quite a bit away. But he doesn't have the torp range at this point to actually hit me. So I'm going to start lobbing shells at him. I got him on fire, so that makes him burn his damage control. And that's when the destroyer in our cap pops up. And there's the Confederate award to boot. So I got to take out that destroyer and cap, or at least reset him for the time being. There's the reset. Oh, come on, are those going to hit? Nope, slightly too far. How about those ones? Yeah, those are good. There's the Kraken for 5 kills. Yep, kamikaze has no engines. My last salvo against him took out that. So that's good. That means I might be able to finish him off before he gets those up, as long as I can actually hit him. There's a good fire on him too, so that'll help. Come on, guns, do your thing. There's some good hits. That kamikaze is detecting my minikaze, which, oh well, he's AFK, no big problem for me, but he is a target I could use to shoot at. Or not me shoot at, to get the enemy to shoot at.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
So now I got the Bedanye. Our minikaze is about to be torped by the dead kamikaze. And that Bedanye is probably the biggest threat, though those battleships can get in some pretty accurate firepower. And I'm starting to get cornered now. I do not have a lot of space to get to. And I'm it. Yep. I have 5 kills out of the 8, 9. I don't know. I'll count them later. But I have most of my team's kills. Let's just put it that way. And I'd like to claim this Bedanye, or I'd at least like to get him to bugger off so that I can farm some more damage on like a battleship or something. And I'm scoring some really good hits against him because he is a light cruiser. So sometimes my HE does some pretty good damage against him. And if he would just turn back into my range, I'd gladly finish him off for another kill. But for now, that New Mexico's getting kinda close. Usually my ooh, that was painful. I'm in the red on health now. But usually I don't like things getting within 12 kilometers of this ship because it's got a 9-kilometer detection radius and it's pretty big. It likes to take some good hits. Bedanye is still within my range. I'm kind of eyeing him, trying to finish him off. But for now, I gotta put up with launching shells at this New Mexico.
Smoke screen set.
And I popped smoke just because I had 3 different ships shooting at me at once. Since nothing's detecting for me, I can't sit in the smoke and shoot at them. So I have to keep moving, I have to get out of my smoke, and continue lobbing shells at this New Mexico. And as you can see, I'm kind of pressed up against the border now. They're really starting to close in on me. And it's making me a bit worried, so you're going to see me use the border a little bit, but not for too long. Just to kind of turn out of some shells. So yeah, I'm kind of a scumbag for doing that, but I don't ride the border all the way down. So I'll continue lobbing shells at this New Mexico. I'm really hoping I can do something against him, but it's not really going to look like much. Mostly because I can't do enough damage with my guns in time to actually take him out. But there's that Bedanye back in range, so I'll lob some shells that way. Oh boy, that looks bad. Ooh, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. So, 1,500 health. My team's saying good job to me. I am trying my best, even though I was super salty earlier. But I got my Kraken, so that's pretty worth it. But can I survive for 50 seconds? That is the question. I've got a battleship within 10 kilometers of me. I'm not detected right now because I haven't shot in a little bit. But I'm going to change that right now. Because, I mean, I'm going to get cornered anyway. But there's a battleship within 10 kilometers of me. That's not very good in my case. And as you can see, I'm using the border here to turn out. And I do like what my teammate said right there. He said I'm one of the first people he's seen who can basically call them all out at not doing anything, which he might have been one of the ones trying and just got caught in a bad spot. I don't know. But basically calling them out on not doing anything, and they said thank you for actually standing behind it and having a good game. And even the enemy team congratulated me on that, which I thought was pretty cool. But it also goes to show that anybody can be salty after a long win, or not a long win streak, a long loss streak, because I know I was just racking them up. I had been racking up some losses for the past days, and after that loss, I just stopped. I couldn't play anymore that day. I mean, the Kraken was worth it in my opinion, just because I like those flags. I use them a lot. I have 600 of them stored up, but I still use them a lot. And I don't know, I just did so much in that game, and it was really disappointing to lose that. And I know winning's not everything in this game. It's not a huge stat, in my opinion. Usually average damage is where I really look at to see are you a good player or not. But it's not about the win. It's more about the valediction of saying, yeah, I went out, I did it, and I won that battle. Me and my team worked together, and we just crushed the enemy. It's about that feeling of I accomplished something, and you really don't get that on a loss. And that's why people get salty on losses, especially me, who doesn't really care about the win-loss ratio. Yeah, it's just that you want that feeling that you accomplished something at the end of it. You don't want to say, oh, well, there's 120,000 damage that really didn't go as far as it could have. Yeah. But I thought this was kind of a fun match just because I kind of stuck it out in the end. I held my own. I got lucky a few times with the battleship salvos, but I thought it was pretty cool. And it shows that I got salty a bit, but I did stand behind it. And like my teammate said, I kind of proved all the people in the South wrong that you can actually do something in this game. And the stat pages are going to show that, and I'm going to get salty over those too. I already know I am, but the stat pages are going to show that. But before I get into what the teams looked like, I just wanted to show the first stat page. I got a Kraken, I got a Confederate, 2,000 experience on a loss, which is not bad. Almost 500,000 credits earned, 308 hits, 6 ships destroyed for 1 over a Kraken, defended the base a couple times, set 10 fires, incapacitated those destroyers quite a few times. So it worked out pretty well for me, and I was quite happy with just that screen in particular. But here's where I got a bit salty. I earned 28 experience, base experience, less than the top battleship on the enemy team. That alone made me a bit salty. But what made it a little bit worse is what my team looked like. You see the New Mexico and the New York right at the top. They were over there on my side fighting along with me. And I scored almost double of the New Mexico's, just about double of the New Mexico's base experience. And over half the team was under 500 base experience. Me and the New Mexico got all the kills that game. All 9 of them. And yeah, that got me a little bit more salty than it should have. Of course, the Minikaze's at the bottom because he was AFK, but I don't want to say just look at it, but look at it. It's horrible in my opinion, but it's a travesty. But I don't know. We all have those games where you don't do much, and some of them might have had that. I know a couple of them a destroyer detonated, so that wasn't all his fault, but I don't know, I just got salty over this page just because you can look at the base experience and go, this is how much that player contributed to the match. Unless it's like a destroyer who was scouting the whole match and didn't quite land his torpedoes or something. But you can usually look at the end screen and say, this is how much the guy contributed, and I don't know. When you and the 2 battleships that you were supporting are at the top, it's just It's sad. And even that Omaha that was up there with us, he was either the second or third person to die, and he's halfway up on the team with 300 base experience. Honestly. But I'd like to really thank those two battleships that were up there fighting with me. They did a really good job of sticking it out and trying to fight off the enemy team. They were tier 4, they were tier 5 and 6. They were up against tier 7s, so really good job to them. I'd like to really thank them for that, because I wouldn't have been alive that long if it wasn't for them. And also thank you to the teammate who said, hey, great job, thank you for standing behind your stultiness. And the enemy team, of course, for their goodwill at the end, for saying, hey, great job, good game, all that. Because it was a good game. I enjoyed it. The end was a little bit disappointing, but I did enjoy that game. It was really fun, and I got a really good adrenaline rush out of it. And of course, I wanted to show the end screen. Other than the long list of enemy ships that I hit and sunk, about 113,000 damage done, maybe 114. I don't know. It's a lot of damage on a loss, especially in a little small high explosive shooting destroyer. I mean, sometimes you see a Kiev that, or any destroyer, any gunboat that will go up to the front line. He'll chase off the enemy destroyers, and then he'll just get railed. Because a lot of them don't know when to retreat. But I just wanted to show that and just show exactly how much damage I had done that whole match. Usually I actually don't shoot that much AP or HE out of this. Usually I do have some AP shell hits because I'll get within 10 kilometers of a cruiser that's not paying attention, and I'll rack up some damage. I'll even shoot armor piercing at a battleship. And I learned that from my Udaloy replay that I featured earlier on this channel. That actually got me into playing these Soviet destroyers, and it's actually a really fun line. So if you're going to try it out, I really suggest it. The low tiers are kind of meh, but once you hit tier 6 and 7, the 6 is iffy, but Kiev is where it gets good, and I really enjoy it. But at the end of this salty video, I hope you guys have a great day, and good luck out there.